I guess on my hair, she look alright. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here. In a previous video, which I'll leave linked right here above, I talked about 12 older palettes I wanted to use in 2021, and today I'm knocking out another one. The problem is, y'all know I have to be honest with y'all, this palette has expired and I had no clue. Honey, I am talking about the Sigma Viper palette, and although she is beautiful on the outside, honey, look at this packaging. The color story, stunning. The problem is, these shadows are expired. Expired. When I tell you, honey, they give you all the issues that you expect from a bad eyeshadow. They patchy. I'm not going to say they give me trouble blending, but they don't blend as well as a normal Sigma eyeshadow is. But this is completely my fault, honey. Do not watch this video and try to give Sigma any slack on this palette. I'll explain everything in the end. But I was so excited when I went into this. I'm telling you, you're going to see how hard I try to work with this palette. But if you all want to see how I achieve this look, because honey, in the end, you know, if nothing else, I'm going to pull off a cute look. I ain't stepping out the door looking a mess. So if you would like to know how I achieve this look and watch me struggle in the process, continue to watch. But first, you know I got to show you those swatches. Alright, you guys, out from my makeup vault, we have the Sigma Viper palette. They no longer make this palette, so this is one of the reasons why I'm using it. It's just to remind myself that I have wonderful items in my collection. And the only thing I'm hating right now about showing you the cover is that because of the glare, you can't see just how deep and rich this green is. It looks rather ashy to me on camera right now, but I'm telling you, in person, it's a very deep, dark, gorgeous blue-based green. Inside, we have 6 shades. There are 3 mattes and 3 metallics. I wanted to go ahead and make sure I kept things just like this so you can see it, because I'm not sure if I had a bad time swatching because this was just never a good formula, or if it's just an old formula now. Once again, this is an older palette, so things could have gone bad, and it's just something I don't know because I've never heard anyone say anything bad about it. If you notice, the second shade Copperhead, which is that metallic red, does appear to have hard pan. I did do swatches today. Normally I do swatches one time over no primer, but with that particular shade, I did go in twice. In here, we have finger swatches. I've done them one time over no primer, except that second shade, which was done twice. Left to right, I only had issues with really that first and second shade. Every other shade gave me opacity and swatched rather nicely. The 5th shade, the matte green Malevolent, was a little patchier than the rest of the mattes, but considering it's a color, I expected that. But the one that gave me the most opacity and felt the smoothest was the one that surprised me the most. That last blue shade, Sinister. And I wanted to make sure I gave you close-up swatches so you can get a more true-to-tone color and also see texture. Alright, you guys, it's time to get into things, but before we get started, you already know all tools and products will be in the description bar below. Just in case you don't want to sit back and watch the video, you can still get the good details on what I'm wearing. Today, honey, I'm pulling out an old school palette, honey. They don't make it no more, they don't sell it no more. I don't even think you can find it. But I wanted to go in before we get started, and I made sure I took a cotton swab and I swatched off the top of this shade here, Copperhead, just so that when I go in with the brush, it has the best application possible. I know this is an older palette, so I'm not necessarily judging the palette. This is going to be more like of a tutorial and help me just knock out one more palette on my older list. So let's go ahead and get started. Even though I really do believe I can use all 6 shades today, I'm only going to go in and try to use 5 because I've been doing a whole lot of green eyeshadow looks. And so today I'm going to do the complete opposite, and instead of going with my favorite color green, we're going to go with my least favorite color blue. And I can't just go straight in with the shimmery blue, I got to build up to that. So we're going to start things off with the first shade here, Hypnotize. We're going to use our largest, fluffiest blending brush, and we're going to use that as a transition. See, this is why I'm not allowed to have nice things. trying to pick up my brush and look at the gouge on her. Girl. And I'm not sure what kind of pigmentation we're going to get, so I've loaded my brush up. I'm not really worried about fallout because we're doing eyes first. And baby, good thing I did do that because as you can see, I'm getting a ton of powdery fallout. But once again, I don't know if that's due to this being an older shadow or it's because I've picked up a ton of product. But that color, baby, I was hoping she would be a little darker than that. But I'm hoping she comes off as really cool toned so she can accentuate the next color I'm going to put on. We're just going to buff her out, and I truly don't think I'm going to need a second layer of her at all, baby. Not at all, at all. Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, honey, you can truly see where I've added that. All of a sudden on this side, she looks way more opaque, like I just put a whole ton of powder down. But that's just the pigmentation of this shadow. So although she was powdery and dusted everywhere, she literally blended on extremely fast. So be right back. I'm gonna do this on the other side. That was extremely quick. Now we definitely have to go in and add some definition to our crease. So we're going to go into the third shade here, Adder, and we're going to use that with a smaller blending brush, and we're going to use that all over the entire crease. Sis, if there's ever been a time for a crease shade, this has been it. Because that transition shade, she ain't giving me what I need. She giving me pigmentation, but she surely ain't giving me the color that I want. So we're going to load this one into the crease, put her in, and I must say this one had a whole lot less kick up, but it doesn't seem to be quite as pigmented as that first color. Although this one is much easier to see and pick up on. She's blending beautifully. I'm definitely going to have to go in and do a second layer of this color. It could be coming up a lot softer because I have that lighter color on top as a transition. So if you have a lighter complexion than I do, this will go on a lot easier. We want to make sure we go in and do a second layer of this because I need pigmentation, sis. I think if I ever use this palette again, I would probably feel more comfortable starting off lower in the crease and then building up with, diffusing the edges next time, because going in like this, she's giving me a little bit of a harder time to build up. But she honestly is building up. The edges are diffused beautifully. I'm going to raise my brush a little higher to help make sure I soften those. Because I'm going in with a color so dark, honestly, I'm glad she is building up a little slower. But because of my skill level, I usually like something a little faster than this. Actually, I was just about to go in and do a third layer with this brush. What I'm going to do is do this on the other side, and then we can build up the third layer with a smaller brush. Because I have hooded eyes, I really like to have definition in my crease, and I don't want to use another palette. So I'm going to take my smallest blending brush in that same shade Adder, and we're going to add this even lower in the crease to give us a slightly deeper color. And once again, I've loaded up my brush, but I haven't tapped off anything. I want to get as much pigmentation as possible. I'm going to start off going in extremely slow because I really want to build that color up. And then we're just going to, with the smallest amount of pressure, diffuse those edges. It's when you're going back and forth and you're really swiping that you can start to lose some of that pigmentation because you're blending. And right now, I'm just really worried about getting the darkest color I can in my crease. With the previous brush, we've already blended out the edges of this shade. So right now, I'm really just worried about getting depth and dimension. Just build this up really low, and you can see how with this smaller brush, it's getting right into the crease and giving me a darker color than what we have on the other side. Let me just show you this. You see this side is just a little bit darker, and that's what we're looking for. I want to just do one last layer where we're not diffusing the edges. Just go in. We're going to call it that. Do this on the other side. Now that I'm finished with my crease work, we want to go in and cover our lids. I really want this look to stand out, so we're going to cover my entire lid with this last shade here, Sinister. I'm going to go in first with the dry brush, and then I'm going to fold my brush to see if it's going to give me a little more pigmentation. Normally, I will go in with the glitter adhesive, but I want slightly softer edges, so we're going to skip that step today. Alright, and this is the moment of truth, honey. I am hoping that this color is as vivid and as beautiful as I'm thinking of. But I'm not going to be mad because once again, this is an older palette. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start off in the center. Ooh. Honey, she adhering by her own. Ooh. We are getting some fallout, which I was expecting. But the fact that she holding on, baby, I'm getting excited. Normally, a glitter adhesive would have given me easily much more pigmentation. But I would have also had to worry about the harshness of the edges with that. And before we go in, I want to just make sure I use the same brush that I'm using to pack it on to diffuse those edges. By doing it now, it'll make it easier to just go back in and layer on the color that I want afterwards. So I'm going to put that there, and then we're going to go back in for a little more. I want to try to figure out exactly how far up all the color is going to go, and then once I'm satisfied with the diffused edges, I can go back in and foil whatever I'm just going to put on top of here. Okay, and as you can see, just this by itself isn't the world's greatest blue. You can go back in and fill in any patchy areas, but I am definitely going to have to go in and foil this, so let me grab my brush. I said brush, I meant my spray. Let's take a little Fix Plus and see how this gonna help. Alright, let's see what she's gonna give us. I'm gonna take it from the center and swipe back. Oh yeah, you can definitely see she's much more opaque when she's sprayed. Easily more opacity. Get us some mimosas. Oh yeah, with this shade, I would truly recommend spraying your brush. Sis, look at that. She is not the world's greatest blue by no means. But after you spray her, honey, you can truly see her. Be right back after we do this on the other side. Now that I've gone in and buffed out my lid shade, I've taken away some of the definition from my crease. So we're going to go back into the shade adder with our smallest blending brush, and we're going to slightly add more of that color back into the crease. I've loaded my brush up, and we're just going to take this right into the smallest part of the crease because I don't want to lose any of that definition that I've created. And by going in with just this brush, we'll make sure that it hangs into the lowest part of the crease. And that is all we want to do. Alright you guys, this is all we're going to do for now. I'm going to cut away, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish off the eyes. Honey, you ain't even got to tell me. I already know. If you check out my last video, you see right here, I wore orange eyeshadow. And y'all know the only two things I complain about more than orange eyeshadow is blue eyeshadow and red lipstick. So today I decided to bring them both together because in my opinion, nothing gathers a crowd's attention quite like the two of them. Blue eyeshadow, top tier attention grabber. Red lipstick, same thing. So I'm like, you know what, Torrence? Since we've never used this Viper palette, let's go ahead and grab a couple other items that we've never used. So I'm going to show you what we got. First off, since I figured we was already on Sigma, I pulled out my Sigma Quarter Rosa Blush palette. Absolutely beautiful. She is a tiny bit powdery, but that one dip let me do both cheeks. So with pigmentation and blendability, I'll take it. I also noticed the slightest fragrance. It was nothing that was uncomfortable or unpleasant, but it was something that was noticeable. I'm wearing the second shade here, Pashmina. I'm only wearing this one shade because I didn't want to do too much. I figured I already have bold, vivid colors going, so I needed something soft but noticeable. So we have that going. For highlighter, I decided to stick with Sigma, and we have here our Glow Kiss palette. This is another palette that has 6 shades. She's absolutely stunning. And when I first grabbed her, I was a little nervous because even though she has 6 shades, I thought that this middle shade here, Golden Hour, would be the shade that complements my skin the most. And I kept looking at it like, if that's the case, I'm only going to have one shade darker than mine that I can actually warm up my skin with. But something told me last minute, try something different. I went into this shade here, Sizzle. Come to find out, Sizzle is my perfect shade. So if for any reason I get a little warmer in the summer or a little lighter in the winter, I know I can go into one of these other shades and help mix it. So I'm happy. So if you're my complexion with a warm skin tone, then more than likely this may be your shade too. But this does complement shades that are deeper and lighter than mine. So I am wearing that there. I have it on the cheeks here, and you can see, honey, she creates a nice beam of light right there on the cheeks, honey. She is not for the subtle girls. She's a little more powdery than the blush palette, but I really enjoy her. And honestly, I'm surprised Sigma hasn't taken all of these shades and made them singles yet. For the lower lash line, I had to pull out my black eyeliner. It's been quite a while since I've worn them. I've been trying to tell myself every day does not need a green eyeshadow and a black liner, but I had to pull her back out. You wasn't gonna give me blue eyeshadow and red lipstick without her. So I'm wearing my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Perversion. All-time favorite, had to get her. She's only on the lower lash line though, because I usually don't put anything on the top lash lines. But I know y'all wondering, what is that lip combo? Screw all the talk. For lips, I am wearing the Straight Face Lip Liner by the Lip Bar. This is their red lip liner, and I've never worn it before simply because it's red. I love their formula, use their neutrals all the time. And for lipstick, this is the Juvia's Place Matte Lipstick in the shade So Red. She has a different container than the rest. I believe the other ones have pink here, and then it gradiates up to yellow for their normal formula. But for this one, they did go in, and I believe this is the brightest red lipstick that they carry. I didn't want something too dark because I'm someone who's afraid of reds, and I always figured I can go in with a lip liner and make things a little darker. So I figured before I go in with anything deeper than this, I wanted to test out the lightest one, and I am so happy I did. This is a beautiful red lipstick. As you can see, honey, full opacity grabs your attention, and she is a bright, vivid red. So the fact that they called her So Red, oh yeah, honey. I'm debating on whether I want to get another one, but considering the fact I barely wear reds, and I have reds that I honestly have been using for years and love. My Ruby Woo from MAC, my Uncensored from Fenty Beauty, my Boss Lady from the Lip Bar. Honey, absolutely fabulous. But enough about those. It's time to get back to this tutorial because I think that's everything. If I did forget anything, you already know it'll be in the description bar below. But time to get back to these eyes. We want to go in and create depth and dimension on the lower lash line just like we did on the top. So we're going to start off with a large pencil brush and this shade here, Hypnotize. And just like with the top lash line, I don't think this is going to give us much color, but this will help make the next shade a little easier to diffuse. So we're just going to take one good layer, buff it out, and connect it on the outer edges. And truth be told, that's sort of looking like a brightening powder right there near the lashes. So more than likely that'll help my eyeliner stick out. And because she buffs out so fast, I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the other eye and I'll be right back. Now for more depth and dimension, we're gonna take a smaller pencil brush in this shade here, Adder, and we're gonna buff this out on the lower lash line. Now this is the shade we wanna watch out for. I'm gonna take this and buff it up as close to the lash line as I can get it. But because this color actually has pigmentation on my complexion, I don't want to move too fast because I don't want this to give me a muddy look. And I must say, she's building up on the lower lash line with this pencil brush a little easier than she did with the fluffy brush on the top. I am having to still go in and do 3 layers like I did on the top. The thing is, I need more time and more precision right here near the very front and the very outside of my eye. But yeah, that built up nice. And you can see how this side has much more smokiness than this side here. Now to add an even bigger pop of color, we're going to go back into this shade here, Sinister, and we're going to use a push liner brush, and we're going to use this on the lower lash line as close to the lashes as we can possibly get it. The thing I completely forgot about was the fact that we had to foil this to get it on the top, and now I got this tiny little brush and I'm trying to go on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if this is going to start in the middle and work our way out, because baby, if she give me issues building up, we might have to abort mission. Okay, she's going on somewhat, but she ain't giving me the true pigmentation that I'm hoping for. So I'm going to try to get her on there first, because I can see that blue popping out. But I'm not sure if y'all going to see her on camera. So we're going to finish her up first. Then we're going to let y'all see. Yeah, I think you can see that. Okay. So what I want to do first is get this on both sides because this brush is so small. And then when I come back, I'll try to foil it. With this brush being so small, I don't want to wet it and then find out that it only applied things wet from that point on. Alright, this time I've loaded my brush up. We're going to spray her. Because she's so small, we only going to spray her once. Then we're going to try to see by pressing it right there near the very center of the lash line, how much more color we gonna get. And just like on top, it's gonna give you a little more color when you foil the brush. Alright, be right back after I do the other side. Just to add a slight flare to the eye, we're going to take this center shade here, Copperhead, and we're going to use it to highlight the very center of our lids. Alright, this shade here is not picking up too well with a brush, so we're going to go in slowly, and I'm expecting some fallout. So let me go ahead and just dust her off on the back of my hand now. I'm not even about to fight with it. That big chunk that I just took off was guaranteed to fall off. We're going to go back in, and I'm going to take and I'm going to try to put it just right there in the very center and see if we can buff her out. I don't want this color to take over. I just want it to create what looks like a slight duochrome. And it appears I'm going to have to double dip in order to achieve my look. Okay, because I'm using this shadow here as a topper shade, she's getting what I want going, but something tell me if I wanted to go in and use this as a straight up fully opaque eyeshadow, she wouldn't help me get the job done. Okay, yeah, by putting this right there in the center, it gives me a slight red hue and makes it look like this could potentially be a duochrome. You see how all of a sudden I got that little pop of light right there in the center. Alright, yeah, that appears to be all she gonna get without foiling it, and it's not even worth going through all of that, so we're gonna skip that step right there altogether. Now to finish off the eyes, we're gonna go into this shade here, Beguile, and we're gonna use this to highlight our inner corner and our brow bone. Okay, you all, I must inform you, I have truly loaded my brush up, and although the finger swatch was wonderful, this leaving me a little worried, but we're gonna go ahead and use her. Since we normally just pack her on right there, we're not worried about fallout or anything. But baby, she applies to the skin amazingly. Do you see how fast that built up and the intensity and the shine she gives? Oh yeah, honey, you can't play with this color. I'm gonna have to go in very lightly because I already know just the remaining product on the tip of this brush is enough to highlight. Like you can see that from across the room, honey. Hoo-wee. I'm gonna have to go in real soft and layer and build this up and out. Oh yeah, she might be the prettiest shade in the palette. Now that we've completed the look, it's time to grab our sprays to set everything, and you better grab yours because you know I'm about to grab mine. Fix Plus to give us a glowy dew. All nighter so things last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Gonna give this a few more seconds to dry and I'll be back to show you all the final look. And this is the final look. I want to go ahead, give you all the full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you, honey, this palette was trash. Baby, I absolutely love Sigma. Oh, let me straighten my hair out, honey. Let me get this together. But let me tell y'all, I absolutely love Sigma. They make fabulous products. I've been using them for years. But this look here was trash and it was all my fault. Let's get into it. First off, this palette here came out in 2018. It is now 2021, which means it's 3 years old. If you were to look at most of your eyeshadows, they usually have a small jar with a number on the back, and that indicates how long the shelf life is of this product. And considering this says 18 months and this palette came out 36 months ago, it's twice the expiration date. I can't blame nobody but myself for that. The fact that this expired 18 months ago means that there was a chance that something could go wrong, whether that be the pigmentation, the blendability, and I got to keep it real with y'all. I just really wanted to use it because I bought it years ago. I wanted to support Jordan Liberty, and I felt so bad with having this and not using it. And now it has me wondering, like, Torrence, how many other palettes in your collection have never been used and have probably also done the same thing, gone expired because you haven't touched it yet, so you don't know what to expect? Because I know what the Sigma formula is like, I know this is expired, honey. Sigma wouldn't have put nothing out like this. No, ma'am. Let's just start off. First shade, blendable, pigmented, everything. It's just that on my complexion, she's way too light. So I believe she would be a beautiful transition shade on someone with a much lighter complexion, but my tone and deeper, no good. This shade here, she was no good, but once again, it's been a while, so I can't blame it. She was beautiful. She was hard to pick up, but beautiful. Don't know about you. But with this here, although she did go on dry, she did go on full, something tells me if this was a brand new, fresh palette, she would have went on way better. I'm here to let y'all know right now, honey. Chances are, even if you have it, you can't use her no more and she's bad, but I'm so happy I finally used this palette, but I can guarantee you, honey, I'm never using that again. No, ma'am. Ain't no point of doing all of that, and I know trying to swing this hair over to this one side and be cute, honey, that junk keep getting over here. But I'm sitting back like, okay, Torrence, this little blue eye, this red lip, she got me feeling myself. She got me feeling cute. So I more than likely will recreate this look. If you all would like to see it, please leave me a comment down below. The thing is, if I recreate this look, it's going to be with permanent products. I know exactly how to redo this look and give you all a poppin', bangin' blue that will stand out from the crowd. To me, she's nice and she's faded because I have talent, but I'm quite sure the average everyday girl would not have put in this much energy and this much effort to get this to work. Spraying it, building up all those extra layers, you should not have to go through that with an eyeshadow palette, but she is beautiful for something that is 3 years old. So with that being said, all I want to tell you all is, if you're going to buy limited edition makeup, make sure you are going to use it. Do not be the fool like me who done realized you done spent $36, never got a chance to use it before she went bad. So now I'm just sitting here looking stupid. She look cute. I'm going to give her that. She is cute. But this blue, she not popping the way she should. This lipstick, nah. Juvia's Place So Red. Never tried a Juvia's Red before. Might have to go get some more because I'm like, yeah, honey. And ain't no putting a line. Look how she got them teeth smiling and pearly white, girl. Yes. That is the one good thing most people will tell you. Red lipstick will help those teeth come off looking pearly white, honey. But I'm telling y'all, it is late in the afternoon. I stayed up all day waiting on the package to come. That did not come. But I've been blabbering about old makeup for long enough, honey, and I'm quite sure you all want something new. I promise you all, next week I'm going to be bringing a Sigma tutorial featuring their newest palette. That was the tutorial I wanted to bring to you all today, but FedEx has lost my package and finally let me know today that they found it and it'll be delivered tomorrow. But that'll be way too late for me to record and edit and get it up on time. But I truly appreciate the love and support that you all have shown my channel. Make sure if you all have any questions you want to ask me for my Q&A video, that you leave it in this video right here. That is my flood update video. All questions asked on that video will be answered. I'm going to be recording that video later on today, no later than tomorrow, so you still have a few hours left to get it in. But with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.